Okay, this is Final Exam Practice 3, Part 3. And so this is the last thing. This is something that I have mentioned briefly, but we want to look at the difference between a primitive and a reference variable. And all you're going to need to know is the difference between those two, and that's it. So let's just look at it. In the computer, what happens is there's already memory locations already in there. And each memory location has an address to it. This is like walking down the street and you have houses on both sides of you, and you've got each house has an address, and that's what all these memory locations have. And many of them, of course, most of them are empty. There's nothing in them, but they still have an address. And so that'd be just like on a street. You see a house and nobody lives there. The address is still on the mailbox or on the house, and so they're empty, but they still have an address. So when you declare a variable like an int, and so what happens is you declare the name of it, and so let's say that the computer will go, okay, I'm going to put this in memory location 1045, and its name is age. And then what happens is it gets assigned 25, so 25 gets put into that memory location. Alright, so that right there, this is an example of a primitive variable, data type, primitive data type, because its variable, its value is placed in the memory location that has the name of the variable. And so it's stored right inside that. Now, you may go, well, that makes sense. We've been doing that all along. Well, here's the kicker, though. Now let's go to a string. The string is going to start out the same, but it's going to turn out different. So here we have a string data type, and we're going to name that data or that variable greeting. And so what happens is, again, the compiler will go over and go, okay, well, we're going to find memory location, and we're just a random memory location, call it 1046, and we're going to name it greeting. So here you have a memory location that was not named before, but now it is because of the declaration. So the address 1046 contains a memory location whose name is greeting. Now here's where the tricky part comes. Now it's going to assign hello to a memory location, but only it's not going to be the memory location greeting. It's just going to pick another memory location. I don't know how it does that, but it just does. So let's just say that it picks the memory location 2174, and it types hello in there. Alright, so hello is not in the memory location called greeting. What's actually there? It's an address. It's an address. It's the address that contains the string hello. And so in here, it's going to be 2174. So what happens is, if you were to go, oh no, I did do that. If you were going to go system.out.println, and you wanted to print greeting, the variable greeting, it would call greeting. So it calls greeting and says, hey, what's your value? And so what greeting says, hey, I'm going to refer you. So the what is it called? The root word of reference is refer. So when a string variable is being called, the variable says, I'm going to refer you to this address. It'd be like you trying to find somebody's house by using their address. And so it's going to refer them, or refer the compiler, to another memory location, in this case 2174. And so then it goes, okay, hello. That's what it's going to print. So it's going to print hello because it was referred to the memory location there. Now what happens is next line greeting is changed to another variable or to another value. So the word is hola, and so hola is going to be placed into a memory location. So again, it's just a random memory location, and so we're going to go and type it in there. So what happens is the greeting variable has to be changed, not the name or the value as far as the string, but the value as far as the reference. And so because hola is in 2172, it changes that to 2172. And so now the reference, now when greeting is called, if it's called again, it's going to refer the compiler to the memory location 2172, where it'll find the new value or the new string. So the thing to understand here is that primitive data types are ints, doubles, which is the only ones we've used. There's also floats and other data types. The string is not a primitive data type. It's a reference data type because in its memory location is a reference or an address to another memory location that holds the actual string that needs to be printed in the program. And so that's the difference between a primitive and a reference data type.